let's jump into it. I've been learning how to trade futures and basically into the world of day trading for the last 7 months, and I think I finally got to a point where technicals and everything I'm working on starting to make sense, but something I need to work on and something I'll probably need to continue working on for a while is the psychology aspect. So I was looking at a bunch of successful traders and they recommend creating video journals instead of just physical journals. My current journals are purely just screenshots, and I make notes on why I did something, why I got out too early, or why I entered a trade. And I realized it's useful, but a lot of people are recommending creating actual videos. And I thought, okay, let me create it and maybe I can post on YouTube and maybe it'll help someone else along the journey. But, if you guys have any questions or have any feedback or advice, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm here on this learning journey, similar to most of you if you're watching this in the day trading world. I am using a lot of ICT's concepts and I think it's served me very well. Now something I need to work on is my psychology aspect. So let's jump into it. Let's look at the charts and see what we are doing. So I know this seems extremely messy, but this has helped me a ton. Basically what I have up here. So I have the 15-second chart, the 1 minute, 5 minute here, the 15-minute here, 1 hour, 4-hour chart, 1 day, and 1 week. And by doing this, I have a higher picture of what's happening because a lot of the times I get into a trade using the 1 minute chart and I'm not able to see the bigger picture and I end up getting stopped out or just taking low probability trades because I don't really understand where the drawn liquidity is. And so I realized by having a chart like this where I could see, okay, the last day, basically Friday, the 18th of August, it took out a bunch of liquidity right here, and then it showed some strong rejection. And right here on the 4-hour, you can see that there is a market structure shift because it did break above this high. And so right now my bias is bullish, and right here you could see a order block. So that would actually be my target on the 4-hour, the 44.17. So I'm looking for the 1 hour here to come down and get into this fair value gap. And when it does that, I'm going to basically drop down into the 15-minute or 5-minute or most likely the 1 minute and look for entries using ICT's 2022 model. If you're not familiar with ICT at all, I'd say look him up. He has incredible content. It is literally thousands of hours long, but I think it's worth it if you're willing to study it and dedicate time to it. I'm going through this journey. I'm in no ways an expert. I'm still working on the consistently profitable aspect of trading. But again, just sharing what I'm learning with all of you. So let's check back in a little bit after the hourly comes down into this fair value gap and see how it rejects. Maybe it'll go a little bit lower. I'm not sure yet, but overall on the higher time frame, we do have some bullish price action. So waiting for it to come down and then planning to look for a long entry. So I like coming to Forex Factory just to see what economic events are happening. So literally nothing is worthwhile happening here. I only look for red events, sometimes orange too, but nothing on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have some news at 9:45, so I need to make sure I'm not trading at that time. Thursday, 8:30. I usually don't trade before 8:30, so we're good. And then Friday, we do have some news at 10 o'clock. So I need to make sure I don't trade before then, or if I do, I need to make sure I'm flat during this time. This is something I make sure I look at every week or every day before I start trading. All right, so looks like we are about to breach right underneath this 1 hour fair value gap. We're trying to get right into here. And I just moved the New York midnight opening time a week or so ago to here because I did not trade any of last week. I was on vacation, went to New York. So coming back and finally got this configured. So this is the time that the market opened at midnight in New York. And you want to draw a line there. ICT says that if you are bullish on the day, the best longs are below the New York midnight opening time. So I'm actually going to wait for price to come down below here. And once it comes down here, I will likely get long. At the same time, you'll notice that the midnight opening price is in this 4-hour bullish order block. So that is, more confluence. So going to wait till it comes down here. And then I plan to get long using either the 1 minute or the 5-minute charts after it shows a clear willingness to go up. All right, so looks like the price just went into the fair value gap slightly on the 1 hour right here. And so yeah, now we're gonna wait until it goes to New York midnight open and look for a possible long. So I'm looking at the 15-minute, and here is a New York midnight opening price, and I want to get long below that. So somewhere within this fair value gap, this order block, this would be an ideal entry for me. And then I'd probably put the stop right here, maybe underneath these relatively equal lows, which is a little risky because that's where liquidity is, or underneath here. And so I want to see how price reacts here, and probably jump into the 1 minute or 15-second chart to get long in this area. So I'm taking a look at this. The market just opened on the 1 minute. You could see it did kind of break in structure. Maybe I won't be getting long. I don't know, but we'll see what happens, because down here, the price never went below New York midnight open yet. And so, I mean, I'm just following my plan, and take a look at this. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it may go down below this, and I'm only going to get long only if it goes below the New York midnight opening. So that means I may miss a trade, may not. But on the 5 minute, you could see it actually stopped right at the main threshold of this right here. And because of that, I actually have no idea. I mean, the candle's still open. It's not going to close for another 3 minutes. So I'll check back in a little bit, see if maybe I missed the trade, or maybe I just need to wait until it goes below the New York midnight open. Okay, so we could clearly see that on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, it is shooting up. There is a fair value gap right here on the 15 minute. I want to see how it reacts right here. And on the 1 hour, you could see we are hitting this order block. I want to see maybe shoots right through it. And if that happens, it just means I missed my entry, which is, it's all good. It just means wasn't the trading day, but we'll see. I mean, we still have about 24 minutes until the 10 o'clock. And so just gonna wait, see how this candle closes, and then maybe there's a trade, maybe not. But either way, I'm okay not trading today if I miss it. Maybe I'm just validating what I want the market to do, but I really do want it to come below this New York midnight opening price. But I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. Take a look here. We actually have a tiny little fair value gap right here in this new week opening gap. So this candle, the 4-hour candle, is going to close in about 18 minutes or so. And when that new candle forms, maybe it'll come close this in, go below the New York midnight opening price, and then go up. Again, this is me kind of hoping for, better case scenario, but so I wouldn't miss a trade. But I don't know. I'm just talking out loud what I'm thinking, because I'm still new to this. I know I have emotions, and I'm just trying to talk out what I'm thinking, what I'm kind of hoping for. But at the same time, I know you don't trade what you're hoping for. You trade what the market gives you. And I am hoping it goes down there. But if not, okay, I just don't trade. And that's something I need to be okay with and learn to accept that, hey, not every day is going to be the trading day. But I mean, if it goes up, just kind of sucks, miss a setup, but it is what it is. And any new trader out there that's listening to this, maybe you felt something similar, and I'm just documenting my process. Taking a look at this, look at the 1 minute. It basically came up here, took out some liquidity, broke structure, and here's a little fair value gap order block. That's actually a pretty good short. You can get short right here and probably take profits here. You know what? In fact, I'm going to try doing that right here.
Order submitted.
Good. So this is pretty much how I trade. I use TradingView for the actual charting, and then I use NinjaTrader for actual trading. So this is pretty much just transposed. So it's right here. I will see if I get filled. And then once I get filled, I'm putting a stop right here at the 4406 level, and then take profit down here at the 4390.50 level. We'll see if I get filled. Yo, day trading's hard. That's why we're still a huge fan of passive investing, the stock market. But what if I told you there's actually a way to increase your income while reducing risk by using options with your stock portfolio? We actually put together a free email mini course that'll teach you how to get started with the stock market and how to generate income using some of your stocks. Just click the link below and you'll get free access to our email course. Go click it, then come back to this video. I don't know, looking at this, if I get filled right here at the 4401.25 level, it seems like a pretty good risk reward trade. I put a stop right above here. It should not go above this order block or this fair value gap. And if it does, it just means I'm wrong, which I'm okay with. And then target would be right here at the 4390.75 level. So let's take a look at that. So it's actually a pretty decent 4-hour trade between 3 and 4-hour trades. So we'll see what happens if I get filled up here. Jeez, I stepped out to go to the bathroom for like 2 seconds and market rallies, comes right here. I get into my position and my target is down here. So let's go take a look at that. See, I put a stop right there. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out, and then targeting the lows here because I am a little bearish on this. But you know, we'll see. It is a pretty good risk to reward. We'll see what happens.
Stop filled.
Well, there we go. Got stopped. So, I mean, I guess this is what happens if you trade against the daily bias, right? I was bullish, yet somehow I entered into a short hoping it'd be going down. But so I'm trying to think, would I re-enter into a trade like this? That's the thing about trading, right? You can do things correctly and still get an unfavorable outcome because it's a statistics and probability game. And so I need to go back and really understand my thought process on why I got stopped out. Maybe I did follow my plan. Maybe I didn't. Thinking about it, I don't think I did because I had a bullish bias, yet I entered in short, hoping for the market to go down for me to enter long. And I think that's kind of where I got derailed a little bit. And that's why I was able to take my first loss. So if I had just waited until the market went down to my area of interest to get long, I think that would have been a lot better. But yeah, I mean, this happens. So this is what trading's like. So I mean, my bias was bullish, yet I entered in short, and that's where I started losing money. So if you look at the 1 hour chart, the candle just closed and it's good, right? The candle closed above the main threshold of this order block. And because of that, it is a good sign. It's a bullish sign. And so I do need to look for longs. That is the only thing I should be looking for. And I messed up because I was trying to go short to wait for the long. And that is, I don't think, a good idea. And so learning that, don't get short when your bias is bullish. I'm taking a look at the 15-minute. You could see that actually create a bunch of relative equal highs right here. And that seems like a bunch of buy-side liquidity. So again, I don't know what's going to happen right now. Ideally, I want to come down, breach this, and then it go take out the buy stops. But it is impossible to know. Maybe it'll go up there now. But yeah, we're just going to stay tuned and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like it just breached buy-side liquidity right here on the 15 or basically all the time frames. So now we want to see what the price wants to do. On the 15 seconds already drop in, 1 minute drop in. If it goes below here, I need to see some strong displacement, and then if it creates a fair value gap, I can get short, put a stop above this to target the lows. But you know, we really gotta wait and see what happens, because on the 15-minute it's like very well painted, as in there's no gaps. Everything, I mean, there's a tiny little inefficiency or liquidity void right here, or gap or whatever. Sorry for my terminology, but if that's the case, it should have no problem coming all the way down here. So yeah, we want to see how it reacts right here on the 1 minute, or maybe I'm just completely wrong. I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm forcing a trade. I just am not sure. I could just be trying to force a trade because I'm not following my plan. It's like, I want it to do something, but at the same time, it's like, I can't control what it's going to do. So, I mean, took out liquidity. I want to see strong displacement. If there's no displacement, there's no trade. And it looks like there's no displacement. So I think that's it. I may have just, I don't know. I think we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Something I see here also on the 1 minute is that there's a fair value gap right here where the mouse is. So it may just come here and then it could be a long. So honestly, because I don't know where it wants to go and I have a bullish bias, I'm going to wait until there's a good bullish opportunity. Because if I get long here, I would have to put my stop down here. I guess it's not the end of the world, but at the same time, there is on the 4 hour likelihood for it to come down here as well. So it's not something I want to risk. So yeah, I want to see how this guy reacts right here. At the same time, this is the main threshold. If this is still a fair value gap, so this might actually be a pretty good long. I'm gonna wait to see how price reacts right here on the 15-second. If it creates a entry model, I might enter here, put a very tight stop. It's also on this 1 minute fair value gap, and it's within this 5 minute fair value gap here, and that actually coincides perfectly with this on the 15-minute, the little liquidity void right here. Okay, so the 1 minute did not respect this fair value gap, kind of just punched right through it. Same thing with this 15-second, did not just bounce right off it. So I'm looking at the 4 hour chart right now. You could see that there is the consequent encroachment right here. It may, I need to see how it reacts right here. for it to be bullish. If it continues going down, I'm going to allow it, and maybe we'll continue into this new week opening gap right here. Taking a look at this, looks like, yeah, the 5 minute did not respect the fair value gaps. This continue going lower. We are at the rejection block. If it continues going, break through this, maybe even break through this, and yeah, we don't know if it's going to continue lower or not right now, but my eyes are still on the 4-hour new week opening gap or 1-hour new week opening gap area right here. The New York midnight opening time is kind of like a magnet for price to pull towards, so it may continue going lower until it gets there, or it may continue going up. Honestly, I don't know. So you just sit back, wait, and this is what being a sniper is about. Again, I'm still learning this, but people I learned from say don't be a machine gunner, be a sniper, wait patiently for your setup and only execute. The one setup I traded, instead of being patient, I lost money. So that's that's a good little lesson right there. Wow, isn't this interesting? It's going exactly where I initially wanted it to, but of course, there's no entry for me to get short here. I tried getting short here, but blew through, took out the liquidity here, took it out again, but there was no entry model for me to partake in this action, shooting down. Now that we're getting to the New York midnight opening time, I'm going to look for potentially good entries on this green fair value gap on the 15 minutes. So I'm going to wait for price to just mosey down here, and then we'll see if there's any good entries on the 15-second or the 1 minute. I mean, price right now is at the new week opening gap. I'm not sure which week it is, but it's at a new week opening gap, and there is a bullish order block on the 4-hour right here, which goes into the screen. So there's a lot of confluences in this green area, and so I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Perfect. The alert went off. We came right into the area. We're below the New York midnight opening price, so I'm gonna look for an entry model basically next. I need to look to see what would happen. Like, I'm not entering just because we hit it. I'm gonna wait to see if there's displacement and clear willingness to go up. I think this black candle is just going to be a giant wick. If it stops right here, it means I'm on sides when this candle closes in 30 minutes. But, or if it's, closes above the main threshold, it means I'm on sides. But right now, we still have 30 minutes to go, and I'm just waiting for a good entry pattern on the ES on one of the 15 seconds or 1 minute charts. Okay, so I see a potential propulsion block on the 15-second. Oh, never mind. It was not, because the green candle never closed above. It's funny, yeah, these 15 seconds move super quickly, but I don't know if this is a liquidity grab or a market structure shift. So I'm looking at a higher time frame to confirm. Oh, this might actually be a good trade. I'm gonna try to enter in at 86. Gosh, I don't know. Like, this isn't my regular trade, so I'm actually gonna hold off. I'm just trigger happy right now. I'm just trying to shoot and try to get filled, but these are not high quality entries, so good. I'm happy I did not do that. Yeah, we just gotta wait for this to simmer down and for it to create a good entry pattern for me, honestly. So I'm expecting the 1 hour to close at the main threshold here, and the candle's not going to close for another 26 minutes, so we might be in a consolidation here for the next, 15 to 20 minutes, maybe more, but we'll see. This is what I'm thinking, but we will see what actually happens, just because if it goes to close here. Also, that coincides perfectly with this 5-minute fair value gap right here. So it's possible after a few minutes of consolidating down here, the price may come up to here. Maybe it will continue going higher, but also because this green candle on the 1 hour closed above the main threshold here, it signifies there is bullish presence. I think this is more so a liquidity grab and more so to fill in a gap in liquidity, this fair value gap. So the fact that's closing this in is perfect, and maybe it will come close in this green bar perfectly. Maybe not, I don't know. So we'll just wait and see what happens. I'm noticing a bunch of relative equal lows here, so we're still in consolidation. Maybe it'll come knock all this out before it shoots up, but until then, may just consolidate for a few minutes. Okay, so here it looks like there might be a propulsion block possibly at play. I don't know. I mean, this looks way too messy for me. This is exactly where I've lost so much money trying to trade in this chop. It's like hoping it's like the FOMO of trading. Right here, I would get long and then comes down, stops me out. There's a bunch of liquidity down here, so I'm just gonna hold off trading. This is where I've lost so much money trying to get caught up in this. And I'm looking at this 1 minute. It's like hitting that order block. Maybe it's a propulsion block. Maybe I'm just being hopeful, but it seems like, I don't know, very risky kind of entry. Looking at the 15-second, it is breaking structure. It wants to go higher. I think this might actually be a good long. I'm gonna enter here 43.8725. So I entered the trade and then I got spooked and I canceled the order. But it is right here on the 15-second. All it means is I'm not convinced that this is a good entry. I think that's what it means, because I've done that so many times where I enter into a trade and then I close out of it because I'm spooked, and I don't know, maybe that was the right thing to do, but there's this fair value gap on the 15-second. I don't know, there's a bunch of liquidity here. That's kind of the biggest concern I have right now. So because of all this liquidity, I think I'm going to wait until this liquidity gets swept. Until then, I don't think I should trade. So I'm going to wait. Taking a look at this on the 15-second, it did come into the fair value gap right here. And then it's going up. But what I think is happening is that suckering a bunch of people to go long, engineering liquidity down here. So a bunch of people are putting stops right at this 43.8325 level. I'm thinking it's going to go take this out, and when it takes it out, time to go long. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe that's what happens. If that happens, yeah, I mean, we don't know, but this looks very tempting for price to run before it goes up. And we only have about 12 minutes until this candle closes, so it may go down. And yeah, it's going to happen, likely to happen, or I think it may happen soon-ish. Take a look at this. Price came almost to take out the liquidity, but is this kind of engineering just a little bit more so people who have their stops here feel a little bit safe, and maybe people are adding a little bit more positions. And what's underneath here? Sell stops, right? As their protective sell stops. So once this is created, it's just creating more likelihood for the price to rally up. And we are getting to 6 minutes until this hourly candle closes, and this will basically tell me where we are. I think it's going to close at the mean threshold, but I don't know. So we will see what happens. If it closes below this, it means that, hey, I probably offsides. I think it's bearish, but if we're closing at mean threshold or higher, I think we should be in a good bullish position. So we'll wait and see what happens. All right, so the 1 hour did not close at the mean threshold, but zooming out, came, broke structure, came down. It still looks bullish, and so I don't know. I think I'm still bullish even on the higher time frames. The 1 day, remember, took out liquidity, and so I still have a bullish bias, but this did not deliver the way I thought it would. So maybe it's because I don't know, maybe we need to wait another hour or so. But my plan is still wait for liquidity here to get swept and look for an entry model to get long and target the relative equal highs right here. I think that would be a solid trade, or probably, mean threshold here. And so we'll see what happens. Just engineering liquidity right now. Now I remember some of the notes I used to take back, a few months ago, or I don't know, a month or so ago. This is where I lost all my money. Like I go for, days making profits, and I lose it all right here because of FOMO, that I think price is going to go up and I'm going to miss the trade that I waited hours for. And I'm just proud of myself for not trading this, because I've learned it's like little by little. This is where, I don't know, I've lost so much money doing this. So now I'm just sitting back, relaxing, looking at the higher time frame charts, understanding what's going on. And I think that's giving me a lot more clarity. And like this right now, I'd be like, oh, let's get long because it's going to break through. But that's exactly where I lose my money. So good job, VJ. Perfect. We broke through liquidity. Look at that. All right. Now we are at another new week opening gap right here. So we'll see if there is an entry pattern to go long here. This is exactly what I'm looking for. A sweep of liquidity. And then I want to go up. I think I'm going to take profits right here, 43.9950, and then stop here. So look at that go. Jeez. Honestly, I think I'm going to buy at market, which I did, put a stop. Perfect. So this is the trade I entered into. Just went market order long, taking a profit right up here. And yeah, we'll see how this one trades out. If it does create an entry pattern, I don't know, I may get stopped out. I may have gotten in too early. I think I may have. So if I get stopped out, I'll look for another pattern to enter. I may add a position if a good pattern shows up. And I got stopped. So this is what happens when I don't wait for the right entry pattern and I just go. And I think my biggest problem is FOMO. So it's, I don't know. It's like I'm waiting for the opportunity, but I'm entering because literally I'm fearing of missing the move because I already spent a few hours here. So I think that's where I need to work on and something I need to improve. But yeah, I mean, here it is, right? Got stopped. You could see right here. And so 2 losers so far. One of them because I didn't follow my plan. The other one also because I didn't follow my plan. And so that's what it comes down to. So stop having FOMO. Just let the trades work out the way that I anticipate and then make the trades when your conditions are met. Okay, so looking at this, I don't really know what my bias is anymore. It's just blowing through. My entry was right here on the 4-hour, but it's blowing right through it. We'll see if it takes out this low. If it takes out this low, that means I don't know. It's just not my trade, so we'll see. Maybe it creates a bullish pattern here on the 1 minute. If it does, I'll get long. But if not, it means I'm just wrong, and I need to wait to see what the higher time frame wants to do before making a trade. Oops, okay, looks like I got long. Perfect, so I actually entered into that trade right here, put a stop, and then I'm exiting right here at these. Gosh, I don't know, where do I want to exit? Like, that's the problem. I don't know, maybe this is a bad trade, but I'm in. I want to exit right here on the 5 minute, this fair value gap right here on the 5 minute, and that also is the main threshold of this guy, 99. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm able to get that fill. I want to take out these highs, and then maybe I'll come up here, but I should probably aim to exit here. But usually the goal is to buy at a discount, which I'm at, and then exit at a premium, which is right up here. So I'm gonna hold this trade, see how it plays out, and I'll update you guys in a bit. Right now in a slight profit, but aiming to get out above these relative equal highs. I don't know, so right here bounced right off this. I don't know if I'm on sides or not, but I'm just gonna hold the trade, see what happens. I mean, I have 3 handles of risk. It's not crazy, but bounced right off this order block, bearish order block, but came down, filled in this gap, which is good. I want to continue going higher. I think I'm on sides, but then again, I won't really truly know. And so we'll just wait because I got in too early. I didn't wait for this to get taken. But yeah, looking at the 5 minutes, I think I should just get out. I think I'm just off sides. They came into this fair value gap. Now wants to go lower. Gosh, everything, even the 1 hour, broke through. I don't know. I think I may just be off sides. I'm hoping too much for bullish, but I think I'm just off sides. But I put on the trade. I'm gonna let it play out and see what happens. I'm noticing emotionally, I'm just hoping, knowing that I'm wrong, that it reverses, and I don't know. My stop's still in place. I'm waiting. It bounced off here on the 1 minute. The 1 hour, I don't know, it could honestly come take out it's likely to come take this low out because it came to this order block. So I think this is the next round liquidity on the very short time frame, this low. There are a bunch of liquidity right here. It looks like a great target, but I think I entered too early, and so I'm about to get stopped out right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna accept the loss instead of closing manually. I think it's just so I can learn how to handle losses, I guess. So jeez, yeah, 3 losers in a row because I'm just super bullish. Maybe, I don't know, my bias may just be wrong altogether. And yeah, I don't know, it's painful sometimes just seeing this. So just gonna keep pushing through, trying to understand what the market wants to do and only trade my strategy. So right here, it kind of poked through, took out a little bit of liquidity on the 1 hour or on the 1 minute. I want to see some strong displacement. And I think that's the thing. I'm entering trades without any displacement, hoping, and I think it's coming out of FOMO. And that's why I keep losing money, because I'm hoping something will happen instead of just reading the clear signs. So the moment that I saw this happen on the 1 minute. Notice it bounced off this, coming down, and it did not accelerate through this. That should have been a clear indication that it may want to go lower. So even if it goes higher, it shouldn't matter because I should just close out of the trade. I could have saved myself $250 from the highs, and so that's something I need to work on when I see something that does not sound great. And even on this 5 minute, you take a look here, I even mentioned that, hey, I saw it go into this fair value gap and then rejected, and for some reason I didn't close because I wanted to watch the trade play out, but watching the trade play out is just guaranteeing a larger loss. So when this happens, just go through and I don't know, just be vigilant, like change your opinion, realize that, hey, we may be going lower. And that's exactly what's happening here on these charts, right? On the 1 hour, came down, and the next candle actually went and closed this gap completely, or almost closed it. And there is a tiny little gap right here on the 1 hour, but the fact it did that shows that, hey, we're probably going lower. And so it's targeting this. So I think we have a bearish bias now. I don't know how much lower it'll go, but right now I do have a bearish bias since it's not, gosh, actually, I don't know. That's my problem. It's that I don't know where the drawn liquidity is. And because of that, I'm just trading without really understanding where the market wants to go. So because it's like that, I think I'm going to call it a day, no longer trade. And yeah, I don't know, maybe, or just call this session. I don't know, maybe I'll be back for a PM session. But I don't know, one of my best trades that I've done in the past have been the lunch macro trades. I see these relative equal highs right here. Lunch is in about 30 minutes. I think there's a good chance the market's going to go and take out these relative equal highs if we're bearish for the day. I don't know if we are or not because of, I don't know, because I don't really know, but I remember ICT saying whoever's made the money during the day, that's usually where the lunch macro is going to target. So there's a bunch of liquidity here, means there's a bunch of stops. So it is possible to take a trade from wherever we are here to up here as a target during lunch macro. So I may try to trade that and see how that goes. Okay, looking at the 1 minute, looks like we broke structure right here. So I'm going to try to enter into this fair value gap right here, 43.80.25. Now that broke that, we'll see if I get long here. I'll put a stop right here. And then, I don't know, maybe I'm still bullish. I don't know, maybe I could target these. But we'll see. We'll see if I even get filled on this fair value gap. This could just become a propulsion block, and maybe there's no fill. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. About to get filled, I think. Didn't get filled by one tick, but I think it's going to go back down there and punch into that fair value gap. On the 5 minute, there is a bullish order block, which is good. I could target this, and I think I might. I think emotionally it's like a little draining. So even though I want to target higher things, I might just try to, I don't know, target the little wins, target this, and up to here into this gap right here. So from, yeah, let it kind of take out and maybe target to this fair value gap as the long. Okay, all right, I got filled. Okay, we'll see how price reacts here. I mean, I put my stop right here. If I get stopped out, I'm actually done for the day. It's hit my max daily loss, which is $500. So yeah, it's if I get stopped, I get stopped. I'm out. All these relative equal lows make it, yeah, I don't know. I think there's a good chance I'm gonna get stopped out right here. This was not a great trading day, even though I'm trading with the higher time frame bias. I think I just read the higher time frame bias incorrectly, but you know, once I get stopped, I'm done. We have 6 seconds on the 5 minute chart. I want to see how it closes. Okay, it closed below main threshold. I'm gonna close. Okay, well, I closed my positions and I am done for the session, maybe even for the day. I don't know, down almost $500. So these are my trades for today. So we got a little loss here. Basically what happened was I got short, and yeah, basically that's exactly what happened. I got short wanting it to go down. That's exactly what happened, but I missed this, and so took out liquidity, started going down, did not have a chance to enter myself. Here, tried to enter long. I put a stop. It was a really tight stop. I think it was a pretty aggressive stop, and I got stopped out. Then it's a little bit of consolidation here. Not much happening. Actually, interesting. I didn't even realize it was consolidation until I'm looking at it now. But we were in consolidation, got stopped out here, and then here, lost another trade. So looking at this, I saw that the 5 minute candle closed below the mean threshold. And so that was a clear indication that we are bearish. So I'm happy I closed before we hit the stop loss, because I could have, lost more money. That's something, I'm still working on. It's like, look, read the price action, see where it closes, because it closed like this, it was pretty aggressively more bearish, and then price started going down lower. On the 1 hour, we are almost taking out this liquidity. Maybe right after that, maybe it'll go higher. I don't know, but I am done for. I don't know. See, this is my problem. It's like I need to be done, but part of me is like I want to participate in the lunch macro. But yeah, maybe I'll come back and I'll see what happens, more so as a learning experience. But I know that when I push it after losing this many times in one day, I tend to lose even more money, so go on tilt. So I'm just gonna call it a day. Thanks guys for watching. It was a fun day, right? First day doing this, and what is it, four back-to-back losses. And yeah, I don't know, sometimes the market's like that. So just coming back each day, learning, and yeah, just want to share the journey with you guys. Hopefully, some of y'all could maybe relate, know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe you watch this years down the line, and maybe I'm profitable then, maybe. And yeah, hopefully it's a little bit of inspiration, or if you guys give me feedback, or I don't know, I'm here to learn, so we'll hope for the best. Awesome. Thanks guys for watching. All right, so went to lunch, came back, and this is exactly what happens, right? You're anticipating a move, and then literally minutes after I leave, I don't know, I probably should have stayed just a little bit longer. Lunch macro hit, and you can notice on the 1 minute chart, there was a change of market structure right here, came down into this bullish order block, this black down close candle. Could have entered long right here, put a stop right underneath here, and then would have targeted this liquidity right up here as I had originally planned. Is just trusting the trade after getting stopped out multiple times, because right here it could have done the same thing, right? And then right here, because right here there was a change in market structure, and I was hoping that this fair value gap would be the one. I put a stop here, but I just got stopped out. But right here, this was I guess the one which I should have used. If I had gotten long on this 1 minute chart, risk about 3 handles, and then to right here, that would have been almost a 5-hour trade, and it is pretty good, right? I just unfortunately did not take this trade because of fear after getting stopped out here, and yeah, I just decided to call it a day because I was at my maximum daily loss. So it's fine, I didn't take it. I'm happy I didn't take it, because that would have just instilled bad habits, which I don't want. And so, I'm content with it, just learning to read price action. It did go where I thought it would, which is good. So I'm just here to practice and just work on not having FOMO. Looking at this, looks like the 4-hour drawn liquidity there's this fair value gap here and a bearish order block right here at the 44.1725 level. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if there are bullish entries, I may look to take them up here, but I think I'm going to wait till about 2 o'clock or so to check back and see if there might be a trading opportunity. Okay, back from lunch. This is what I see on the 1 hour. Gosh, I should not be trading, but on the 1 hour, I see that it closes right at the main threshold, but the 4 hour has a bullish drawn liquidity up here. So even though this looks potentially bearish on the 1 hour, 4 hour looks bullish. So because of that, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I may try to get long if on the 1 minute these lows get taken. So if the market goes down on the 5 minute right here, or on the 15 minute, there's a fair value gap and an order block. This might be a good long opportunity on the 15 minutes. So keeping my eyes open for this. All right, so we're taking a look at this. I'm not trading right now, but earlier I mentioned there's a drawn liquidity right here in this fair value gap, as well as this bearish order block. So that's where I think the 4 hour wants to go. And you can see that the 1 hour did not respect this main threshold, which means we are, set for that bullish run up here. Same thing on the 15 minute. You could see that a bullish order block traded down into a bullish order block, and this created a propulsion block, and price is just going to shoot up. It's going to continue going up, and that's this on the 5 minute chart. I could have entered somewhere in here, put a stop, but that would have been too much risk for me. Plus I hit my daily max loss. So right now I'm just tape reading. I'm not planning on making any trades. You can see the same thing here on the 1 minute and 15 seconds. So I don't know, it's cool to see, like, using higher time frames, it has helped a lot with at least trying to figure out where drawn liquidity is. And I still think the price is going to gravitate up a bit. So 8 more handles, maybe more, I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know, I think using higher time frame bias and narrative is a game changer. So just need to work a little bit more on my entries and my psychology. All right, so I went on a walk because I just did not want to be in front of my computer today anymore. And look at the 4-hour chart. Let's zoom in right here. Came exactly to the bearish order block and the fair value gap that I mentioned. Came here, hit it, and then basically rejected right off that. So that was my initial target. Definitely did not get to participate in it. In fact, lost money trying to participate in it. Definitely a lot for me to learn, but this was pretty cool to see price delivering exactly where I thought it would. And yeah, that is the end of the day. Guys, I want to thank you for watching the video till the very end. If you are interested in learning how to invest in the stock market and how to use options to actually increase your income while reducing risk to basically help you retire early, we did put together a complete course, basically hand-holding, comes with a course, a mastermind, as well as group coaching. So you could just literally copy and paste some of our passive investment strategies into your own investment portfolio. And because you made it till the end of the video, I want to give you 30% off your course. Just use the code VKYouTube and you'll get 30% off at checkout. Just click the link below or go to this URL and I'll see you next time. Cheers.